So budaya kat Malaysia ni, buat doktor buatlah yang terbaik. Kalau saya ada kereta Alza saya 16 tahun, saya bawa ke mekanik, saya kata, mekanik buatlah yang terbaik. Mekanik kata, hantar pergi hantar pergi lupuskan je lah, dah 16 tahun dah Alza kau ni. Tak sesuai lah kita nak kata macam tu kat orang. So the wording buatlah yang terbaik tu, sebab people thought that doctors knows best. We do know a lot. We probably don't know best because we don't know you.
Inside palliative care itself, there is something called kita panggil advanced care planning, ACP. Maybe doktor boleh sentuh sikit on ACP and also who is involved kan. ACP ni melibatkan siapa and generally what is ACP lah. I think most of us pun tak pernah dengar lah regarding ACP dalam palliative care ni.
Okay, saya cerita sikit. So ACP was coined, I think, about in the 1960s in American initially. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. But when they found out not everybody boleh dirawat sama. Okay, so manusia bukan robot. So jadinya not everybody can be treated the same. So they found out actually people's value differ, then people's perception of treatment differ. So things evolve and everything, so that's why American certain states their ACP is a legally binding document. So kalau you dah buat ACP, doctor, nurse, the healthcare professional have to follow that instruction because it's legally binding. Singapore made it legally binding, tapi being an Asian country, they found that there is a bit of a problem with it. Malaysia is not legally binding, tak ada dalam perundangan kita lagi, but we are going to roll out an ACP program. I think either this year or next year, nationwide. So what advanced care planning is actually not about palliative care saja, it's actually about you as a person. So apa kita nak is actually kita nak a person makes a decision about his or her health. So budaya kat Malaysia ni, buat doktor buatlah yang terbaik. Kalau saya ada kereta Alza saya 16 tahun, saya bawa ke mekanik, saya kata, mekanik buatlah yang terbaik. Mekanik kata, hantar pergi hantar pergi lupuskan je lah, dah 16 tahun dah Alza kau ni. Tak sesuai lah kita nak kata macam tu kat orang. So the wording buatlah yang terbaik tu, sebab people thought that doctors knows best. We do know a lot. We probably don't know best because we don't know you. Okay, so advanced care planning is to understand for the healthcare worker to understand your value. Contohnya saya bagi contoh, kalau seorang macam tadi saya bagi contoh seorang makcik anak 3 orang, suami meninggal. So kalau makcik tu, okay, she got breast cancer, she wanted to be treated but she's just frustrated dengan what's going on with her life at the moment. If we had known that value for her, she wants to be treated, then we would go ahead and treat that. So kalau if she had a conversation, so ACP should be done with a professional healthcare juga, you be trained to do ACP juga lah. So if she had a conversation, the children knows that this woman want to be treated, tapi for some reason dia resistant at this point, yang sebelum baru meninggal 6 bulan kan. So we understand her value is to get treatment, tapi kenapa dia resistant ni? So there is a problem. So kena identify apa problem tu. So contoh another example lagi. So contohnya seorang pakcik umur 70 mungkin, isteri ada lagi anak 6 orang, ada kecil manis lama dah, dan dia start ada kerosakan buah pinggang. So dia dah ada kerosakan buah pinggang mungkin 5 years ago, tapi tak sampai ke peringkat dialysis. So at that point, 5 years ago, people start to have conversation. Do you think dialysis is something you want to do? So 70-year-old, if you tanya rata-rata Malaysian lah, 70-year-old, okay, 5 years ago, 65, you've had conversation, do you want dialysis or not? Most people will say yes, but when you reach 70, people will say, nak dialysis ke tak? Orang kata, tak sure lah. Kan? But, so then again, if we know this person value, so say, kata kalau pakcik ni umur 70 dah, his daily activity is going to the masjid, which is very important to him. Okay, 5 waktu dia boleh pergi ke masjid. He's strong, boleh berjalan, everything semua. And that is very important. Anak dia dah kata 6 orang dah kata, cucu pun ramai apa semua, but he's independent, wife dia pun independent. And his value is, I have to go to masjid. This is very important to me. So, if you talk to any nephrologist, this person wants to do dialysis. Dia belek. 5 years ago nak buat dialysis. Belek, important for this person is actually going to the masjid. So maybe hemodialysis, kena hangkut pergi ke tempat dialysis 3 kali seminggu tu akan kacau dia nak pergi solat ni. So maybe we can change it to a CAPD. Continuous dialysis di rumah tu, yang dibuat kat rumah, dia buat 4 kali sehari. Tapi dia boleh pergi masjid semayang. Dia buat sebab it's 4 times a day. The exchange takes about 1 hour only. So kalau you ada this discussion, this advanced care planning, nobody will question 70 nak dialysis ke? Yes, I want the perut punya dialysis air tu because I can go to masjid and continue my prayer, which is important to me. So that's why when you have advanced care planning, people understand who you are and people can adjust the treatment to who you are. Okay, so I give another. Usually ACP ni we dua benda yang kita orang akan sentuh, which is quite important, is actually about CPR and intubation. So CPR ni cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is kalau drama swasta tu yang tekan dada tu kan, nak hidup orang balik kan. Actually success rate of that is actually about 5 to 10% sahaja. And 5 and 10% alive, bukan 5 and 10% well. So those people who actually come out well is actually lower. So jadinya, if you have no illness and you had an ACP done, if I suddenly become unwell, I do not want to be bedbound connecting to tubes where I might be alive, but I have no control over myself. Dia macam vegetative state. Maknanya dia macam orang sedar boleh buka mata tapi bercakap tak boleh, kencing semua kena pakai tube, makan pun pakai tube.
Kita kata no quality of life lah kan. Walaupun you're alive, you don't have the quality of life anymore lah.
That comes again, Tani, bergantung juga sebabnya. So if you kata this is not something you want, tapi you sihat, tak ada penyakit apa-apa, then suddenly you kena accident and your heart stop and you had a CPR done, and then katakan you dah married, everything semua, muda lagi 30 plus, you sampai hospital, they were able to bring you back to life. You're alive with the assistance dengan machine apa semua. Okay, reasonable. They cut down, you breathing on room and everything, but you're stuck, brain damage, you're lying there, and your wife pernah ada this conversation with you that if I become like this is not the life I want. So it's actually okay to approach the healthcare professional. My husband had this discussion with me before, ideally documented lah kan, tapi nak buat macam mana, we're going towards that. So if you talk to your healthcare worker, this is not my value to be vegetated like this, to be supported like this. You can talk to your doctor. Maksudnya, when we may withdraw treatment, kita tak bunuh dia, kita taklah bagi ubat menyebabkan dia meninggal. No, we withdraw treatment and we let nature run its course. Because if we go back 160 years ago, if somebody kena langgar katlau lah 160 years ago, ada kereta kan, kena langgar and you had brain injury, chances are you're gonna die. But now with advance of technology, you are still alive, but is this the value of living that you want? So when you have an ACP, you let your family members know and everything, they boleh tahu, this is not what I want. I bagi tahu you Sani, because not everybody thinks it's not quality of life. I had a 92-year-old gentleman, can't remember dia ada cancer ke tak, tapi he's quite unwell. I think dia tak ada cancer, tapi dia ada a lot of medical illness, kidney, everything semua. He wanted to be kept alive artificially juga, sebabnya dia ada seorang anak yang mana his value of living is as long as he's alive, anak dia akan continue working. Anak dia ni successful businessman, kaya raya lah. So dia mampu lah untuk ventilation, everything semua tu dia mampu. So we sat down and we discussed with this anak, but everybody said he's 90, what are you doing? It's pain for him. But we sat down and talked to the son. The son said, actually, I'm working because my father is still alive and he knows that, and he told us that to keep him alive regardless because he want me to continue to be successful. So for that man, walaupun dah intubated masa tu, I don't know whether he survived for 1 month lah dekat ventilated dekat general ward, bukan kat ICU tau, ventilated kat general ward. Survive 1 month. We had to talk to the primary team and everything semua tu. This is the value of this person. Kita take into consideration resources jugalah, resources, everything. And dia survive lah for when I left, he was still alive. I don't know whether he's still alive after that or not. But 1 month in the ICU and kept him alive on minimal life-sustaining treatment, sebab resources kita kena be fair. And he was kept alive because that was his value. He wanted to be kept alive regardless. And this conversation happened, this 93-year-old, he had a conversation long ago with the children lah. And they are aware what the father wishes were. And even though it hurts them, they kind of don't agree for themselves or their families. Tapi this old 92-year-old, dia kata, do this to me. Dia punya value dia, as long as he's alive, the children will be well. That was his value. So we understood that, we work with it, negotiate and everything. So, I mean, he had an advanced care planning done, and our role is actually to assist with that. So that is understanding the person value is part of advanced care planning, to understand what is your value, and your value changes. Okay, I have 7 children, so my value when I had no children and my value when I have 7 is completely different. So that's why advanced care planning is not a document you tulis je and set in stone. No, it's a conversation with your loved one, your family, and ideally your healthcare workers, so that they understand your value and where you are. So another component of ACP is actually a decision maker if you're not able to make decision. So that's also important. So macam orang assume kalau you dah kahwin, bini buat keputusan lah. Okay, 21 years married, and I know my wife kind of knows me, but she really doesn't understand what my wants are. Different lah. So jadi you can ideally in our Asian society, our Asian culture, kita akan letakkan keputusan untuk buat keputusan tu adalah ke atas isteri. But certain culture, certain families kita tahu yang buat keputusan sebenarnya pak mertua, yang buat keputusan sebenarnya ayah kita kalau dia orang still around lah, ataupun adik-beradik, abang long yang buat keputusan sebenarnya. So who makes a decision about your health choices if you're not able to? Kalau kita sendiri sialah macam head injury, tak boleh nak sedar apa semua tu, then you can't make a decision. Ataupun yang common dekat Malaysia sekarang, taklah common sangat tapi getting more common, is actually dementia. Kita dah jadi makin nyanyuk. So kalau kita dah jadi makin nyanyuk, in your 60s you're starting noticing alamak ada problem, ingatan tak ingat, then your 65 getting a bit more worse. It's a good idea having a conversation with your family who's going to make a decision for you. Healthcare decision. Berkongsi cerita, I had a 73 kot. Pakcik ni has cancer. He doesn't want to know that he has cancer. Tetapi dia dah buat pembedahan, dia dah buat chemo. Kenapa? Sebab dia dah make a decision, my illness, decision maker is going to be my son. So dia kata, apa-apa masalah, dia salahkan anak dia. So he make a decision, dia farmer, orang not that well educated, sekolah rendah pun, maybe sekolah rendah saja. He knows his ability, so dia tahu, dia tak akan faham doktor terang apa-apa. So dia nak keputusan pasal my health is my son's decision, to make that decision. So he follow je lah whatever son dia buat decision. Because the son understand the conversation with Dr. more. So dia buatlah surgery, everything, buat berdapur, everything semua tu. Because when I met this pakcik, I was like, pakcik, ya ke nak buat benda ni? Oh doktor, saya tak nak tahu pasal penyakit saya. Semuanya bagi tahu kan anak lelaki saya, dia buat keputusan, saya ikut. And he had a laparotomy, dia buat pembedahan perut, buang usus apa semua. I'm like, wow, pakcik percayanya dekat anaknya. Because who went through, yes, he went through a big surgery based on his trust to his child. Again, it's about value, and when you identify that person to make decision for you, okay, you trust lah that person. For me, it will be my wife lah. Tapi for other people, if you have a wife, fair. Kalau you ada husband, fair. Kalau it is culturally kita expect. But if you go through, talk to the families, ramai je partner ni sebenarnya, katakanlah suami yang cedera, isteri nak buat keputusan, dah dia kena consider ipar-ipar dia tu. Apa, kalau mak mertua tu ada, dia buat decision, alamak boleh ke tak. It's actually a big stressor to the spouse to make a decision, unless you as the person declare to everybody, whatever happens to me, my wife is going to make a decision. You follow her decision. You jangan sangkal. Walaupun you prof apa-apa ke, yang ni housewife ke, she makes a decision for me. So, yelah kan, sebab kita, kalau lah isteri tu housewife, mungkin dapat degree tapi dia tak ada housewife. Ni lawan dengan prof-prof, adik-beradik semua prof-prof semua. Kau nak kata apa? So understanding that also helps in making a clinical decision about your healthcare plan.